Hey, the train is rolling on the campus of Utah Valley University. This is Mike Clapier along with my partner Sam Allen. Welcome to the PE building where it's another night of Division I wrestling on the campus, Utah Valley Wolverines. Tonight we welcome Pac-12. Cardinals are in the house from Stanford. Last contest we went against Northern Colorado. Sam, you saw it. What was great about that?
Well, I'll tell you exactly what was great. We had a shutout victory. This is a Western Conference opponent that we had come into town. We've always had good matchups with them. Northern Colorado's having a down year. That didn't just discredit UVU at all. We came hard. We came finishing matches, and we came away with a shutout victory. It felt great. The fans were totally enthused. It was an amazing matchup.
We're excited to be here. We hope you're with us as well. Join us. We'll be back. Mike Clapier, Sam Allen. Welcome to Utah Valley
Wolverine Wrestling.
And here we go at 125. This could be a great match, one of the better technical matches of the night, because Evan Silver, redshirt freshman for Stanford, is out of Blair Academy. Always a great team, always great competitive wrestlers. Blair Academy private school back in New Jersey.
We had Arizona State went last week right after they dueled us. They went up and dueled Stanford, and they were talking about Silver having a pretty tough match against the Arizona State wrestler, and I had to say, well, our guy, Jade, he pinned him in the first round.
Well, you always got to wrestle the match. One of my good mentors, Sam Arishida, who I coached with for a lot of years, he always said, you can say what you want. There's a nice, beautiful shot in there, right? Nice counter, nice switch back. Not quite there. Got to settle it, toes in. There it is. Stanford didn't agree with that one, thinking hips were still out. I think that's an arguable call. I know there's a conversation about that out of bounds call, because on the book we say if it lands there, it looks right, you got to call it. But if it were the same position, and that was a good example, if it were the same position in the middle of the mat, you'd let that continue. There's no control there. The whole game in folk style, which is what we're wrestling, used to be called collegiate, now we're wrestling folk style. The key element here is it's a matter of control. My job at this point, our job for Rauser right now, is to control what's happening on the mat and work towards a fall. Work to take control on top and turn Silver. Silver's job is to get out from underneath that and restart neutral or get a reversal and get back. But it's a control game as opposed to the Olympic sport where you see more of a throw and a motion game.
Yeah, some exposure. I'll tell you, I think the call why most questionable right there on the edge of the mat was Jade reached across, grabbed both legs, and gave two, and immediately Silver was able to get a little scramble. So coach was going, hey, wait, that wasn't quite two yet.
So you're saying because they were out of bounds and you did that motion, that then secured the takedown, exactly. And then because we're out of bounds as opposed to in, the reaction time isn't the same. Exactly. It's not judged the same. There's always this element of reaction time. If I take you down and you can react before I settle in that control position, then the points are not scored. So the referee is not only judging and watching for safety of the wrestlers, but he's also making sure that the motion takes place beyond. Nice release. That was sweet. That was nice release, a reset, and take control again there. Rauser comfortably taking care of things right now, although he's not turning yet. Sometimes, as a wrestler, you've wrestled Division I, wrestled part of this program. How much does it matter? How important is this grinding and getting that energy down so that later in the match, what I might not be able to do in the first period, I can do in the second?
Well, even if you watch Jade's fantastic at this. Constant pressure, constant heavy, keeping heavy on top. If you watch Evan Silver here, he's having a hard time even just getting up onto his knees. And the few times he's had a good explosion off the bottom, Jade's picked him right back up, brought him right back down, or released for a second, and then athletic move, and he was right back up on top. Evan's doing a good job here with a stand-up, but there goes Jade, brings him right back down, and immediately you watch him just start grinding over that shoulder, pulling that arm underneath. That's some good technique there.
Well, and I think the confidence, success breeds confidence, and so as we're going in, it was a huge shot to the program to do a good job. There we finished the first round. We got a 2-point score. Rauser secured a nice takedown, controlled things on the match. Utah Valley, we are in the down position, so our job is to get away, get out of there, either secure an escape or get away for two. But nice job standing up.
Nice stand up. But if you watch here, Jade's doing a good job of getting his weight off of his hands. He's getting the weight onto his feet.
Nice knee slide. Oh, good job. Very good. Hips came up strong, knee slide, hand control. Also, the hand control takes place after the hips are moved where you want. Where sometimes the high school kids, they'll try to fight the hands before they get that secure hip position. Yep. That was a great example. Go back and watch that. Rewind that when you're watching this later. That was just textbook. Of course, Greg and our coaches, Keen and Justin, fantastic technicians we have in the room.
UVU is extremely lucky. They got 2 world-class coaches. Keen, a lot of people don't realize the Russian in our room. We got a little Russian connection and
European champion.
Very, very, very talented. And then we got another world-class coach with Justin Reese, Olympic.
Nice shot here by Silver. See if the counter is in deep. That's pretty good. Oh, he did it.
Comes away with it.
Got around the corner. Got in deeper than Rauser was able to stop. So we're tied up. We got 2-2, although Rauser's been able to put 2 minutes of riding time. So there's a little advantage for us there. Right now we need another escape. Need to score some points.
Notice the pressure. The pressure's going forward. Weight is on Jade's hands. That's a good riding position. If I'm the top man, I want to get very heavy on it. Very, very heavy.
And it's hard to see that when you're initially if you don't know the sport. But watch Silver's toes. Watch how hard his feet are digging into the mat. That's the pressure that he's putting onto the front of those shoulders. And that's to keep Rauser on his hands, so he can't get the hips underneath. Now he's got a little bit of a break. Now come down, fight that hand on the hip. Silver lets that go. Rauser now into that position, needs to stand.
Little slow right there at the end for Jade. Would have liked to see him get an escape there.
Well, we're 2-2 going here. We do have a riding time advantage. Silver was able to whittle that down just a little bit. We're neutral, like that's a place we want to be. We got an escape. That's a 3-2 score, so we're up by 1, and riding time is our advantage. Now Rauser can make this thing work on his feet. And he's solid there. Great Greco and freestyle background.
Yeah, fantastic. And one of the keys as we've watched Jade this season is when he's able to score an early takedown and really grind in that first round, that's where he's explosive. So it'll be interesting to see him push through here, keep his feet and hands moving, keep his techniques crisp and sharp. Nice snap down there. We'll look for him to open up and score his takedown. Little short.
I'd like to see a little more offense out of Rauser. He seems to be kind of sitting back and watching a little more. Greg's getting at him now. Greg's saying, come on, let's make the motion work our way and get in on the shot once we've created that turn. Watch what Rauser's doing. How much battle is it to get the other guy out of position?
Oh, yeah. I mean, when you're wrestling, getting a guy to step, move.
Tough one to finish. Double leg. Sorry to step on what you're saying.
Well, yeah. A shot like that, not a lot of motion, not a lot of movement there. So a short shot to just grab some legs.
So what we want to do is to get Stanford to turn a little bit so we can shorten that distance. There's a nice shot by Silver.
Switch.
Oh, that puts him up. Now we got a score here. We got 45 seconds remaining. We've effectively got a tie match, except in 5 seconds riding time is going to switch for us, so we need to get out of there right now. Come on, Jake. 30 seconds.
With his head, he's got his head down, but we got Stanford. He's kind of riding back on. Oh, there he goes. He goes out to the side here.
Now, why is it we want to see him coming up? Why is he not able to come up? Is it the pressure on the hips?
Got a lot of pressure, yeah.
10 seconds.
But you always want to look at this, and we got a short time here. You always want to look at where your head's at. If you got to get your knees underneath you, your head up. Just a nice job by Silver.
It's a nice win by Stanford. Stay with us. You're at the campus of Utah Valley University. We're at 133 pounds. Chasen Tolbert, a sophomore with an 8-6 record, is out there wrestling Alex Manley, also a sophomore. And we'll see if we can get ourselves on the board here.
Chasen's wrestled tough. He's kind of gone back and forth with Rauser, one of the Rauser twins, being in and out this season. Chasen's done a great job of stepping in and actually wrestling quite well. He's 8-6 on the year. one-on-one in our duels.
There again, we're sparring, keeping distance, trying to control the head, want to get a shot, want to set that shot up in such a way that I don't have to travel the full distance between my body and his. I want to try to get him to turn the corner if possible and then progress into some kind of a shot, whether it's one leg or two. Don't see a lot of throws in folk style of college wrestling. Not like we do in the freestyle and the Greco world.
Not nearly as much. Chasen here working with this Russian, though. Seems to feel comfortable there. Clears off.
Nice 2-on-1 combination. Now coming back in.
Oh, fake shot by Manley. You see, as you battle here, Chasen feel comfortable with this. Ooh, and a nice shot there.
Beautiful. Nice shot in, arm caught.
Catches that arm. He holds on to that arm. There's a lot of offense he can score out of that. Unfortunately, just let it go.
That puts us up 2.0 for score takedown. 1 minute, 18 seconds remaining. First round. We're in the second match. Utah Valley versus Stanford on the campus in the PE building at Utah Valley University. Now working for that fall, trying to get that.
Again, a trap arm, trap tricep right there. And does a good job of powering out of that. Going to get weight forward on his hands here. He's back on his hip. Comes into a crab right here.
Again, we're looking for control. Utah Valley in green, where our job is to turn. Our job is to score some points. Trying to move him into a tilt situation. It's almost there. Doing a good job with it. Almost there. There's the count. 1, 2. There's a 2 count. Picks up 2 near fall points. That gives us a 4-point advantage. Nice move there. Nice tight control of hips and moved him into that cheap tilt.
Yeah, worked it. Worked and it worked for him.
20 seconds remaining. Tolbert trying to get another turn. The near fall criteria comes into effect if one shoulder is down and the other shoulder is less than a 45-degree angle to the mat, and that's what the official is moving into position to make that adjudication. That's a big word for us today.
I'm learning. End of the first period. Chasen's up 4-0. Nice job. Takedown and a good cheap tilt to score.
Choice goes to us. We're giving it back to Stanford. Stanford wants to go into the down position. Let's see if we can work that turn a little bit more.
Chasen was a transfer from Colorado Mesa University, where he wrestled there. Wanted to come to a Division I here in Utah and try his luck and doing a good job here. Back into this crab right again, where he scored this cheap tilt the last round.
Stanford's working a little better, trying to control hands, push back, free himself. Now he needs to get hips away and turn. But Tolbert countered that, stayed tight, stayed close. So Stanford has not been able to get away from us. Now ridden him for 2 minutes and 8 seconds. But we can't just hang on there. We got to be working for that fall. So here again, it's that move him in. Nice little Granby kind of a move.
Well, as I coach young ones, or I referee also, you know, I always tell guys, listen, if you're hanging around, you're just hanging back there, you're not advancing your position, and that's where I'm going to say, you know, you're slowing. Ooh, a nice cradle.
And right here's where he needs to do that. He had an opportunity to lock his hands and get a cradle situation and then pull that back into a pinning combination. But Stanford's doing a good job fighting it away, and right now we're not. We need to move out, create some story. Now, right now, we're waiting for Stanford to move. Stanford's waiting for us to move. There's not much action. Official's going to make a call here in a minute about somebody get at it. We're sitting on that back leg a lot. I kind of wonder about how long he's going to let us camp out there. It's good for us. We're controlling the ride, but when does it just be hanging on? 15 seconds remaining.
Chasen's doing a great job of just riding tough.
He's really controlling it.
Heavy. If he's not heavy up on his hands and shoulders, he's got him back in a crab ride with a dangerous. He's got a dangerous little cheap tilt that he does from there.
Well, Utah Valley in pretty good shape. We got 3 minutes and 30 seconds of riding time, which gives us a point if things stay the same. And we got 4 points in the match. So effectively, we're up by 5 as we go into the third round. And Utah Valley takes that down position, and got to see if he can get out from underneath that. See what Stanford can do. Second match, Stanford won the first one. A tight match, good close competition. And they are ahead of Utah Valley in the second match, 3-0. Team score.
Chasen, nice job, quick up off his feet. Immediately to his feet, fighting the hand control, and he's out. Nice head snap right to a shot.
Back into a shot.
You know, I call that chain wrestling. When you put one move into a next move, and so first move he exploded up. Second move he's got his hips low. Third he's fighting hand control, and immediately as he turns out, he's pulling on the head and he's into a shot. I mean, that's 4 or 5 consecutive moves that make you very, very lethal.
The other thing that was nice about that sequence is he got his hips up and in control before he came in to fight hands. Instead of fighting those hands, sometimes we see these younger wrestlers will drop the head, fight hands, battle. He just got his hips under control on his feet where he could move better and move with power, and then took care of the hands, and the result was a 3-point turnaround. Now leads 7, and he's piling more riding time in. 1 minute remaining, third round in the second match, Utah Valley versus Stanford.
Now for us, we want to make sure we control the rest of this match, draw this lead out even longer. For those of you listening, an 8-point victory is different than a 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 point victory. You score 14 points instead of a 3 for what's called a decision. A major decision is 8 or more points.
And that was the difference for us when the rest of Arizona State, because actually we won 5 matches, they won 5 matches.
Exactly.
But they won their 5 by 3-point decisions. We won our 5 by 3 pins, a major, which is a 4-pin win, and a technical fall, which is a 15-point advantage, which scores 5 team points.
Nice lock up here.
See if he can pull that back.
His Prieto position.
See if we can move that back.
Short time here. Let's see if we can pull something out. We'll get those bonus points. I broke that lock, so we got a 10 seconds left. We want to hold on to him though.
I think Chase did a nice job of controlling things. It wasn't an exciting match to watch, but we were in great shape all the way through. Watch right here. Nice motion, good step, good level change. Hips drop, big step forward, and controlled the far and controlled Stanford's far arm, which puts him in that control. That was the first takedown of 2 points. He ends up scoring 8. That's a major decision. So we go up 1. It's 4-3 with Utah Valley in front of Stanford on the campus of Utah Valley University. Come back. We got Division I wrestling right now. Glad that you've joined us here on the campus as we watch at 141 pounds when Avery Garner wrestles for Utah Valley. His opponent, Josh Lauderdale, a sophomore for Stanford. Nice shot in. And Avery scores 2 to get things started.
You know, Avery has developed very well. Started here, did a year, then another mission, has come home. Physically matured, he's very, much stronger. He was wrestling between 133 and 141, and now has found a good home at 141. He's a good size there, strong, and developed very, very well. He's having a good year.
Out of Boise, Idaho, a Centennial wrestler. Avery has given us that ability to be strong in that 41-pound as he's grown into it, as you mentioned there, Sam, as he's grown in, working an arm bar, trying to get a turn going on there. What is Avery's strength? Is it in the room, work ethic, natural ability? What is his strength?
Our last broadcast, I mentioned this too. Avery is extremely hardworking. He's not just hardworking in the room. He's dedicated in the classroom too. He's very smart. He's a pre-med student. He's the type of guy that you're like, oh, he'd go to Stanford.
He could. He's got that arm bar in, got the wrist trapped, up in there strong with the bar. Great shot from our crew. I'd like to thank our digital media students and their crew crew here today producing this for us. A great opportunity here. If you are watching this and you think you want to learn the skills of broadcast media, come and get involved with us here at Utah Valley. The digital media production takes care of a lot of great things right here on campus. As Avery clamps down, that's why I said campus, it's not campus, but Avery's clamping down on that far arm bar, trying to come into that far half, and hasn't turned it yet, but it's sure wearing. Burns a lot of energy on Stanford's behalf. He's got his hips up, trying to move away, but Avery changes to that front lock, trying to put some kind of a cradle together. That didn't work. Now Stanford trying to bring his hips up, Avery working again.
Doing a nice job of just keeping constant pressure from one move to another. From a bar arm series to half to a tilt here.
And we should be able to get into some kind of a turn here. He's got a good pressure on the hip. Would want to come up onto the head next, if in fact he can do it. Come up, push pressure on the head, and push the head away. That would be, I would think, the next position he wants. Stanford's down lower in that, trying to scoot his hips away. His next move would be to try to get in and catch a leg. He's not getting that done. And Avery is working on that tilt position, trying to secure. There he goes to the head. That's what we're talking about. And we run out of time.
You know, in a position like that, you run to that power half or a shoulder hug situation where you're able to just hug that shoulder, keep your hips in your chest tight to his back, hopefully score some near fall there.
Obviously felt that the situation or the pressure wasn't just where he wanted it to be, and then he finally got there. And with the way he had the hips bound, he was going to be able to turn those shoulders, but time ran out. So we begin the second round. Avery takes a down position. He's leading with 2-point takedown initially, trying to get hip separation and get away. And Stanford doing a good job keeping weight up on in that crab ride scenario. Now here, Avery doing a good job trying to get that separation we talked about, trying to catch. There he got hips away. That's a good thing for us. Now he's up, trying to take hand control. Got hips up. Now he needs to get the foot back on, keep hand control. Oh, nice.
Spladle.
That was sweet.
Just tripped him down.
Tripped him down with his arm and hipped into it, but gained control back. Stanford lost control. We now have control. That gains 2 points in wrestling. And now Stanford's got to fight to get away from a pinning combination because we've got some pressure on the back at this point. That was a nice move. Now we're back to the same kind of pressure. Crab ride. I'm reaching far. Stanford trying to gain that separation, trying to work that thing. He's got to get his hips away. Hips under and away at the same time. And then Avery adjusts back and wins that fight for that position right there.
Again, if you watch
Stanford down.
If you watch this position, Avery's hips constantly pushing and applying pressure, constantly on top, and that's where you really see what separates a good wrestler from a great wrestler is how he's able to ride on top.
Now on the right side, he's got that arm trapped. He's got a good grip on the arm. He's trying to get underneath and get a bar. They're going to call a stalemate on that one because it wasn't going anywhere. Avery was trying to get up on top, get some pressure to the head. Wasn't able to do that. So new start, 4-point lead, 21 seconds remaining in the second round. Garner in front. Utah Valley leading Stanford 4-3, and this is just the third match. A lot of wrestling to come.
Maybe right into the spiral riding position. Gets weight up on the hands, extends the body,
it's
so he can't stay compact.
It's exhausting to battle that. Well, Stanford tried to do a little roll. That didn't work. Couldn't get it going. And time. All right, round 3. What's Stanford thinking? He takes down. What's he got to do?
Well, he's been rode out. I'm not sure how I feel about the choice. He's been rode out for 3 minutes and 30 seconds. He chooses down, but Avery actually says, hey, I elected for the neutral position. That's where the referee says, oh, we'll just start you straight up. Awards Stanford the point, so Avery gets to start up on his feet. I think that's smart, too. Avery understood. Hey, I spent 3 minutes and 30 seconds attempting to turn him. Let's see what I can do on my feet now.
Well, you can get 2, plus you can take a guy to his back easier from your feet sometimes, especially once we've amassed 3 minutes and 30 seconds riding time. So let's see what we can get done up here. Kind of a stalemate going to come here if something doesn't improve.
Avery's got him extended down on his hip. You've got to get a high hip to break this lock.
And that didn't happen. Stalemate there. We're going to put him back up.
And Josh Lauderdale there from Stanford. He shot a shot and locked up and was held on for dear life. I'm not sure how much he was really finishing that. He got it. I mean, it was a decent shot, but not a lot of finish on it.
Avery doing a good job with the down block. Now trying to get control in the head in the tie. Maintain that hold. What's the battle? What's that battle in control? There we go. Nice shot
there.
Nice
Straight down the legs. Straight down the legs, collapsed them together, drove through for a nice 2-point takedown.
Kind of caught him off balance. That's that setup, because he actually caught Stanford off balance a little bit. Stanford, instead of down blocking straight on, was actually a little off the corner, and so as Avery pushed into him, it almost looked like he fell off his base. That one wasn't hard to earn. Avery comfortably lead now, 6-1, amassing more riding time as he tries to work that turn. We need to get a major. We've got to build some more points. We need major or even a fall.
Well, again, darn it.
Now we let him go for one. We can get to trade one for two. We'll do that the rest of the time. 23 seconds remaining in the match. We got a 4-point advantage.
Well, this is again a good scenario where, things happen a little different. We're able to ride and get some turns. We amount that 8-point major decision victory.
There's a nice shot that Stanford got in deep on the single leg, but Avery's doing a good job keeping hip down, controlling that scenario, and then we're out of time. That's a good solid win.
Nice job for Avery Gardner.
Not fancy, but good, and we'll take it. We'll take a W on any side of the page. That's Avery Gardner walking away. Good shot of Coach Williams. Glad to see that happen. Puts the team score up to 7-3. And we are now ready to wrestle at 149 pounds. This could be one of the better contests. In fact, should be. Senior versus senior. Two solid wrestlers.
Timmy Boone has been, one of Stanford's better wrestlers. Ryan Mango was an NCAA qualifier last year, a Pac-12 All-American and a Pac-12 champion. He took a redshirt year this year, and so
nice hit, nice shot, nice rechange to the single. That just needs to finish it. That was a great counter off of Boone's shot. That was a great job, Josh. I'm trying to finish that inbounds. There we go, right there. That's 2-point
takedown.
Good job, Josh. There's 2. That's a good start.
Timmy Boone, senior, being a leader on the team. The comment I was making, though, is we have 2 seniors on the team and taking a leadership role. Josh Wilson, also a senior. Nice shot. Nice counter shot takedown there.
That was good wrestling. 2 minutes 18. We're just getting going in this first round. Is Josh starting to come into his own? Is that confidence starting to be there? How's he wrestling?
Well, Josh has wrestled, very well. Even, I would say career-wise, this year had a great showing in the Midlands Championship. He placed there. That's arguably just as tough, if not more difficult, than the national championships that we hold. There's fantastic wrestlers that come out to that. But Josh dealt with some injuries, and he's had a little ups and downs. But right now is the time we want to see Josh just continue to build, and had a good match last week, had a good match against Arizona. So again, one of the keys to UVU success and Josh's success is just to keep building off of the momentum that we have.
I think he's feeling good at the weight.
I think so too.
His energy's starting to be there consistently, and that's a key element. That's a key situation to be able to then go hard for 7 minutes or 8 longer if you have to.
Well, Josh is built well for wrestling. He's strong as an ox, short and low to the ground. He's hard to shoot on. Has some great technique.
He's competitive too.
Oh, listen, I've wrestled with Josh. One of them, and I think wrestlers, this bodes well for almost any wrestler that are ultra competitive.
Yeah.
Josh is extremely competitive, and actually, I think that's one of his strong suits. Is he loves to win. He loves to compete. He loves to work hard, and he's a definite leader on UVU's team.
34 seconds remaining in the first round. Josh is secured that first takedown, and he's doing a good job of controlling this situation. Trying to pop him over. Don't get too far. Don't get too far. Comes back. That's good. Boone tried to recoup that, recover a little bit. Didn't work. Josh was able to scoop hips. Red getting a warning now. He's got to build more. He's got to take more risk. There's Josh trying to work the turn. Got legs in, controlling that. 7 seconds remaining.
You know, one thing that you see a lot of UBU's wrestlers doing is they got a good series that goes from a wrist ride to a bar arm to a leg ride, and it's a good series that they're working because it keeps constant pressure, just constant pressure.
I like Josh's attitude. He steps up, looks at Coach. Coach says, "Get down there and get out." I like the way he signaled it. He just looked confident, like, I'm going there and I'll be out in a minute. So hang on, folks. Here we go. Second round. Hips up, control hands now. Boone's got a leg in. Josh got to clear that. Battling hands for right now. As soon as he breaks that clear, he's out. Boone's just hanging. There's one for us. That's stalling on Boone, and he's not doing a thing.
Well, the responsibility of a top wrestler, especially when you get up to the feet on a feet position, is to return the wrestler to the mat.
One us.
Nice job by Josh.
That's a good
feeling the pressure change. Boone was dropping to a leg to try and just hang on that, perhaps collect both legs. Josh felt that coming. Boom, jumped right out.
We come to our feet, and the wrestler who has the offensive position has a responsibility to get you back to the mat. And if he doesn't do that, then he's stalling. And that was a nice call by the official. NCAA certified officials here with us, obviously. We're D1 after all. And he did a nice job, very relaxed. I like the way this guy calls things. Right, solid there. If it's there, he calls it. There's a nice job around.
Nice chain again.
Oh, sweet. Right into the... No.
Great job.
What did he hit? There were three skills right there. That was nice.
It was really good. It was a shot by Boone. He stopped it, pulled the head, shot. That shot wasn't there. He changed it to a double leg and finished double leg. I mean, that was a fantastic job by Josh.
There was 3 skills right there, just nice. All off of a counter off of Boone's shot. That was excellent.
Josh is heavy up into the shoulder with that wrist ride, looking to pull that out across the back to a bar arm series. Tilt. There's a lot of options here.
Greg's got something in mind. I'd like to know what Greg just said. Look at this.
Yeah, he's got a big old grin on his face.
He's got something going. He's doing a good job. He's doing a good job. I think that the strategy that they had to wrestle Boone, because Boone is an excellent wrestler, and we're dominating him. We're dominating the ride. We're dominating the takedowns, and I think that the strategy that they had, I'd love to ask Greg after the match, but it seems to me the strategy they had going into this thing is Josh executing it just as he should, and I think that's a nice statement for Josh's ability. Nice change there.
Right here, Josh has got to work up.
There's one. I don't like giving away with 2 seconds, but there's one on his side. And it's just a good example of Josh Wilson being able to really work the skills and hone his ability. He's been doing it for years and years now. He's a senior in the program, but here you see it. He's working the pressure.
He lines up here. We're going to do a little replay. I think we decide not to.
That's all right. We'll get back to it again. Good job keeping us right in the match. But I really like what I see Josh doing. A little bit of got away from it a second there. But he's in good shape. Coming back now. Let's see if we can get the turn. Maybe we'll just go back and work our feet for a little bit.
Wrist right here again. That gets I mean, if you look at this position, whether you're a high school wrestler or not, you look and you go, hey, how much pressure does he have? He's not covering his hips. There's so much pressure. Josh, if you look, he's on his toes and he's driving. All the pressure is just going right down there into Timmy Boone's shoulder.
Great shot.
Makes it very hard for him to move.
Great shot, cameras. Look at his legs. Look at how much pressure, how much strain there is on his leg. There's another stall call. This Stanford kid is not getting at it. Now we're up. That's one more for Stanford. So we're 7-2. Stanford's been hit twice for stalling.
Yeah.
2 points.
2 points after that.
58 seconds remaining.
Exchange. Josh can turn it up. Boone's been nice outside shot there.
But we've been able to score twice off those shots with the counters working well. So we'll see if Josh can get in on that. Keep the hip down. What's important here for Josh? Got to control the head. Got to keep Boone's head buried.
Do you see how he's keeping his head pinned with his hips right on top? He's going to pull that elbow. He'll break that lock and kick his hips over. And see how much he's stretched him out here. He's got to stretch him out again. He'll pull that lock.
As soon as he steps over, he'll secure it. It's coming. He'll be there. As soon as Josh steps over and secures the hips, got to step behind, he'll have it. Not quite yet. Boone's still got a hand back. It's almost there.
There, I think that's
boom. There you go. There's 2 points. Nice job. 13 seconds remaining.
Got to ride him tough here, though, for that major decision victory.
Yeah, I can't let him go. We've got an 8-point win right now. 4 seconds. Come on, Josh. Hang on.
2.
Keep him solid, Josh. That a boy.
Nice job, Josh.
Major win. That's good wrestling.
Great job.
That's good wrestling. That's what we're talking about, and having the ability for Utah Valley to have the confidence to go with these good guys. Well, and we are back. We just started. We are at 157 pounds, and one of our twins, Chase Cuthbertson, redshirt freshman, is here on the mat against Kyle Meyer, a junior representing Stanford. 2:43 just into the match. You are on the campus, the PE building at Utah Valley, where we have Division I, the Pac-12 versus the Western Wrestling Conference. And we're really excited to be here. Sam Allen along with Michael Clapier, and we're glad you're with us.
A little bit of flurry there for a headlock. So, we're going to reset, come back up on our feet here. Wrestling so much about position, even on their feet here with our hands, where we're placing our hands, where we're pulling on the neck, some pushes and pulls. It's like a chess match of sorts.
That was a nice job dropping the head. Or Chase puts good pressure there as he moves forward. Now he wants to score from in that position. Wants to make sure that he controls the elbow and doesn't get in trouble. And then either backs out for a restart or progresses further once chooses the restart position.
Ooh, nice snap there, and Chase actually ended up clear on his butt.
That's a good example of the amount of pressure, because Meyer had so much pressure on his head that when he got a little out of balance, it was like, whoa, I better scramble and not get this thing going south on me. And he did that. Good.
Nice athletic move by Chase, not giving up anything big there. We come back in the middle, and again, we're at this chess match with a hand fight and head fight.
When you get talking to athletes from the coast, these guys are obviously the San Francisco area, Palo Alto. What does our altitude affect wrestlers from Stanford?
Stanford's coming at us from sea level, and I will tell you, there are universities that are higher than Utah Valley, just a few of them, but our elevation here, I think it's a real advantage. We got our some oxygenated blood. We hang on to those oxygen cells a little bit better than if you were just training at a sea level. So when you come up, you'll feel it. I know that there's times where I would spend a prolonged amount of time at a lower elevation, came up and thought, holy cow.
It makes a difference. Well, not a lot of action. 20 seconds left. First round. We need to see a little more.
We've seen some flurries. Oh, there's a shot right on the edge of the mat with short time. Hopefully he can harvest this leg and pull it in. 7 seconds. Going to keep trying to reach for it. Look at the flexibility here. That's something special. One thing that you'll see in Division I is the flexibility. It saves you from a lot of takedowns. That's how great it is.
It saves you from a lot of injuries, too. That's a good job for Stanford to not let that thing go in a direction other than the one he wants.
Red defers to green for the second round.
No score. Utah Valley down. Now green, now red.
Nice job exploding up, gets to his feet, and all jumping out. Look for some defense here. Meyer will look to climb up that leg to the next hip, collect the legs, and go out of bounds. Cuthbertson did a good job jumping up, getting up out.
I like this official.
Again, right up to his feet. Nice job by Cuthbertson.
Hips up.
Hips. You know, he did a good job. He pushed the hands down in a way without actually securing a hand control. And that was the difference between him getting away and not. He just pushed the hands down. He almost broke free, and Meyer was actually able to just recapture and hold on to him as they went out of bounds.
All right, he's up and out this time. Here we go.
Again, right up to his feet.
Little roll. Now he needs to recover.
Pretty high up there on his hips. His hips are high. We look for Cuthbertson to keep his butt high, get up even in a tripod position and shake him off the top. Block out that other leg from coming into full leg, double leg ride.
Not much progression. This could end in a stalemate.
Notice how Meyer is even using his feet as hooks his little hands to extend and stretch Cuthbertson out.
Now he's got to go. Now he's got to go.